Hi, I'm new to video making, so I apologize if this is a little awkward and silly. I'm also new to braces, so talking properly is a challenge. So in the end, if all you get from these videos is a good laugh, that is awesome, and I'm glad to have been of service. But the real reason I am making this video and the videos that will follow is because of a game. Yep, a game. You see, I am a big fan of Ticket to Ride, and I have a life goal of eventually owning all of the Ticket to Ride board games. Well, last year for my birthday, my husband surprised me with Ticket to Ride Legends of the West. I was very excited to play it, but what I didn't know was this particular Ticket to Ride game was a campaign game, and I was very intrigued. As we began to play, I quickly found out that playing this campaign was a once and done. The idea is that you play 12 different games, and as you play, you add new board pieces called frontiers, and each frontier has a box with new game elements and rules. At the end of the campaign, you end up with a unique and one-of-a-kind board game. So from here on out, there's going to be spoiler alerts. If you haven't played the campaign and don't care about making the campaign replayable, then these videos aren't for you. But if you, like me, love Ticket to Ride and want the campaign to be replayable, then I hope these next several videos will be helpful for you so that you can enjoy Ticket to Ride Legends of the West campaign over and over again. Okay, so spoiler alert. Once you have finished the campaign, the last card of the story deck directs you to lift up the plastic tray in the box, where then you will find a new rule book for the 1901 game, where most of the elements from the campaign will no longer be used, which now leaves you a box full of unused game parts. Well, this game wasn't cheap, and I didn't want a box full of unused game pieces, and I really didn't want to throw them away. Plus, I liked the campaign, and I liked a lot of the elements from the campaign that unfortunately weren't used again in the 1901 rules. So I also wanted to play the campaign again and again. I thought that was a lot of fun. So it took a lot of work and some creative juices, but I found a way to make it work. As we played the campaign and added new rules and elements and frontier boards, before we would begin to play, I would puzzle out how to make each element in each game piece replayable. And as I tell my kids, I made permanent changes to the game, also I wouldn't have to make permanent changes to the game. I had to do a lot of digging around on the internet to figure some things out, to find out some information for some of the frontier boards. It wasn't easy because the idea of the game is to not spoil what comes next. I get that. I mean, you want to have things exciting and new, which is why I'm going to be making spoiler alerts at the beginning of each video, so you know not to watch if you don't want to have things spoiled. In my search for information, I found that there were others like me who wanted to be able to play the campaign again and again, who also felt like, as I did, that it was kind of a waste to not be able to use a lot of the game elements. Well, I hadn't planned on making these videos until yesterday when one of my kids suggested I make them. And I kind of thought that would be something fun to do. Try something new out. I've never made videos before. Let's see what kind of a fool I can make out of myself, right? Unfortunately, I don't know a lot about editing things, so you're going to get me in just my raw and unfiltered state. So have fun. And I have to tell you now, all of my creativity has paid off because I've played the campaign 3 times now, and my husband and I are currently playing a campaign between ourselves for date nights, which is a lot of fun. And I'm also looking forward to July when my brother and his kids come into town and I can introduce them to the game and the campaign. I also changed up some of the 1901 rules simply because I like a lot of the game elements and I wanted them to be a part of the 1901 game, because sometimes you just don't have time for a campaign and you just want to play the game, but you want to have the elements. So I created new rules to kind of envelop those too as well. Only thing I have left to do is try to figure out how you can play the 1901 game while someone's playing a campaign. And I know this sounds nuts and crazy and maybe a little obsessive, but It's winter. I'm bored. I need something to do. So here we go. I hope you enjoy these videos and get a good laugh.